Good evening and a very warm welcome to your English news package with radio and television Tonga for the hour. Making headlines, Tonga joins the world in marking the World Tourism Day 2022. Secondary schools at Tongatapu delighted to receive laptops presented by the Speaker of Parliament yesterday, and community concern about stray animals. Now with the stories in details. The Honourable Acting Prime Minister Samiu Guitawaipolo marked World Tourism Day with a special program held at Whaonelua Convention Centre this morning. The theme for this year's World Tourism Day is Rethink Tourism. Waipolo highlighted that tourism is everyone's business and the concern is for everyone and all stakeholders, including the public as a whole, to stand together and promote the sector in Tonga. Waipolo added that the COVID-19 pandemic had a great impact on the tourism sector, together with the impacts of the massive devastation in January. Waipolo said that the government is doing their utmost to develop Tonga's economy because tourism is one of the top income earners of the kingdom. Meanwhile, World Tourism Day is also an opportunity for the government and the non-government organizations, as well as private tourism sectors, to negotiate and discuss plans that can solve the impacts of COVID-19. The CEO of the Tourism Ministry, Sione Malamafi, says the ministry, through its various divisions, works hand in hand to promote inclusive growth locally and globally, and they are currently working on upgrading the national historical sites in Tonga for tourists.
As this year's theme suggests, inclusive of all aspects of society, including communities, minorities, and youth. For the purpose of raising awareness about the importance of tourism as a driver of economic growth, inclusive development and environmentally sustainability, tourism affects everybody. Tourism is everybody's business. Guests of honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, children, your presence here today therefore signifies your support, the support of the government, the support of local government, the support of industry, private sector, and the community as a whole, in joining the Ministry of Tourism in the countries all over the world to mark this special day under the theme, Rethink Tourism. On this note, it is my pleasure to welcome you all today this event to witness the various activities that the Ministry of Tourism has prepared to mark this auspicious occasion. The theme this year, Rethink Tourism, is more relevant than ever given the COVID-19 problem. It's had a massive social and economic impact worldwide. But with the volcanic eruption at Tonga and Tokelau as ghost tsunami have had a massive social, economic impact and making it worse for our island kingdom of Tonga.
Tourism sector has fallen by 75% since the borders closed for 2 years and 6 months. As such, more than 10 cruise ships are scheduled to arrive in Tonga this year, starting on the 3rd of October. Despite the impacts of the pandemic, the government has donated funds and grants for formal and informal tourism businesses with the hopes of developing their services. This is the 40th year of World Tourism Day since its first commemoration on the 27th of September 1980. Despite the challenges that students are facing in their education this year due to COVID-19 and the Hunga eruption this year, the government and other agencies are still finding ways that will help improve students' education going forward. The Speaker of Parliament, Lord Whawhanua, presented 90 laptops to 4 secondary schools yesterday.
Lord Whawhanua presented this donation from Akanesi Matai Tonga Trust and Moana Trust of New Zealand. Schools that received the donation were Tupou College Doloa, Queen Charlotte College, Takuilau College, Tainulu College, and Tonga Girls Guide. Trustee of the Akanesi Matai Tonga Trust, Marianne Chen says this trust, based in New Zealand, has been recently providing aid to Tonga and other Pacific islands during the pandemic. This includes providing hospital beds to Waiala Hospital. Akanesi Matai Tonga Trust decided to provide laptop assistance to students who really need it but cannot afford it. Chen says the initial assistance targeted students in Forms 5, 6, and 7. Meanwhile, the Speaker of Parliament, Lord Whakawhanua, in his keynote address urged students to look after these much-needed equipment to help with their studies for a brighter and better future for their families, church, and the nation as a whole. He also advised them to use laptops wisely, for it was evident from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and the eruption in January and tsunami. Technology plays a significant role in education and will have a significant impact in the world's future. He said youth unemployment is one of many challenges in Tonga. The Lord Speaker encouraged them to sharpen their mind and study hard to have a good job in the future. More laptops will be donated to recipients next week.
Police Commissioner Shane McLennan has confirmed that the issue of stray animals was among concerns raised by the governors and community leaders in Wava'u and Hawaii, especially when they damage and destroy root crops in plantations and potentially posing risks when left to roam freely on public roads. Deputy Police Commissioner David Tawaila stated that negligence of animals in Tonga is an ongoing issue and has contributed to many community problems as well as loss of life. He adds that animal owners should be more responsible for their domestic pets, in particular dangerous dogs, to make sure they are kept in a fenced area or in cages away from the public. According to a statement from police, the pedestrian who was out walking was tragically hit by a vehicle and died when he suddenly jumped into the middle of the road to avoid a home-owned dog that attacked him last year. Waila reminds the public that the Dogs Act gives the right to any person who shall see a dog biting or attacking any person or any other animal to put down the dog without being answerable to the owner, and the owner is liable in damages for any injuries caused by his or her dog. Tonga Police has the authority by law to put down any dog without a collar, 6 months or older, found in any road or public place. Another growing concern are roaming pigs in the communities. In addition to destroying gardens and plantations, they make the environment look dirty and untidy. While pigs play a big part in our Tongan tradition and custom, owners should take responsibility in maintaining them away from public places and residents and plantations. Waila explained that pigs are not permitted to be kept in Nuku'alofa areas, including Maufanga in Tongatapu and Neyafu Fungamisi Falaleu in Wava'u, and also Hapai Bangai unless they are under license. Police are authorized under the Town Regulations Act to shoot any unlicensed pigs in the aforementioned capital areas. Tonga Police urges animal owners to be more aware of properly controlling their animals to minimize unnecessary harm and hazards to the community. The Ministry of Fire and Emergency Services has recorded a fire incident at one of Kolofo'o's oldest residents with 10,000 ba'anga in damages. The Deputy Commissioner of Fire, Sinamonika Waka, says the fire occurred on Tuesday afternoon in Kolofo'o near the retirement building.
The Deputy Commissioner of the Ministry of Fire and Emergency Services, Cinnamon Gauvaka, says that according to information collected from the family, this house has been standing for over 100 years. This was a wooden house with a wooden floor. Gauvaka says 3 people were inside when the fire occurred, but fortunately no lives were lost, nor was anyone hurt. He says when they arrived at the residence, the fire had already invaded the house, and the firefighters were able to help, but it was too late to save any items from the house, as it was destroyed by the fire. He added that the department is still investigating the cause of the fire and that the house can't be repaired. He also urges the public to be more cautious when using flammable objects like electrical materials, stoves, candles, mosquito coils, matches, and others.
And the New Zealand Defence Force and the Foreign Affairs and Trade Ministry has begun the construction of a Tonga Pacific Leadership Development Center at His Majesty's Armed Forces Masefield Naval Base at Doliki. The Leadership Centre is funded by a joint New Zealand Defence Force and New Zealand Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade initiative and will provide a location for His Majesty's Armed Forces leadership training, meetings and Talanoa conferences. The $5.2 New Zealand dollars million centre will incorporate a Fale-inspired conference centre and classrooms and staff facilities, with the construction is expected to be completed by the end of 2023. His Majesty's Armed Forces Leadership Centre is the second of four centres that the New Zealand Defence Force and Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade are funding in the Pacific region. The first centre has been constructed in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, with the final two centres will be built in Fiji and Vanuatu. The leadership centres are a component of the New Zealand Defence Force led and Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade funded Pacific Leader Development Program, which commenced in June 2019. The program supports the military forces of Fiji, Tonga and Papua New Guinea and the Vanuatu Police Force in the development of bespoke leadership frameworks and the delivery of different levels of leadership training for their personnel. Each nation's leadership framework is based on the New Zealand Defence Force leadership framework, but incorporates each nation's specific values and culture. The New Zealand Defence Force provides advanced design, development, delivery and facilitation training support for each nation's leadership program through a team of 6 New Zealand Defence Force Institute for Leader Development personnel based at Trentham Military Camp. As a result of the program, Tonga, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu and Fiji are collaborating for an exciting and innovative future in leader development that will be of increasing benefits for all 5 nations. And that concludes tonight's English news package. But before we part, here's one final look at tonight's top stories. Tonga joins the world in marking World Tourism Day 2022. Secondary schools of Tongatapu delighted to receive laptops presented by the Speaker of Parliament yesterday, and community concern about stray animals. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for your company. I'm Alice Dobo. Have a blessed evening.